Hello and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 3 here on HeflaTV 2. This is going to be Game 2 of our Best of 2 series between Arrow Gaming and Zero Latitude. I'm Grandisfeet and I'll be joined once again by HeflaMoke. Oh, maybe. I think I just muted my mic, unfortunately, for HeflaMoke. He wasn't able to hear the intro. But either way, we are going to get into this game. As for Game 1, although Zero Latitude were able to get some pretty good farm onto their Batrider, it just didn't matter. When you have a Faceless Void that gives up first blood and has the same net worth as your Shadow Shaman at the end of the game, it just doesn't cut the cake.
Wait, what? So you did the intro and nobody could hear it?
No, you couldn't hear it. I was unmuted on stream, just not on Skype.
Oh, okay. Well, otherwise I would have done one of my famous intros now. But no, this time not. Either way, yep, Arrow Gaming versus Zero Latitude. Thanks for all you guys, of course, tuning in. And, well, the first game, I mean, I've casted Zero Latitude a lot in the JDL. But as of late, I don't know, with the free stand-ins, I have no idea what's going on with their roster. But I know they can do better. The only problem is really, and I don't want to put the blame always on one person because it's always a team effort in Dota, obviously. But the Void was really the weakest link in the last game. And if that Void would have just had a bit more farm, but I mean, you saw that like 6 minutes he had 7 CS, a first blood, his lane broken, fallen apart. That was just not how it was supposed to be. And now with their bans, they let the Lycan through. And this is a dire Lycan, I think. Yeah, this is a dire Lycan. This is bad news.
It really is. It's a hero that we don't see very often, and for good reason. Even if you win the laning stage, it's still really scary to play up against, because if you lose one fight, your structures are going to fall. And, well, Zero Latitude, they're going to go for a similar style of plays. The Shadow Shaman and Lone Druid will give them a lot of pushing power of their own, but is it going to be enough to combat the Lycan? I'm inclined to say no.
No, like, I mean, having that's the funny part. Like, I always did this like little story, like HeflaMoke talking about like the meta and the peaks and whatnot. Like, there was a period after 6.8, after July, the TI, where everybody was like, you know what, Lycan is not that strong anymore. There was this small nerf on him. Like, I mean, the Howl got nerfed, the Shapeshift got nerfed. So let's try if we let him through on the Radiant side so we can focus on other nasty heroes. But the problem was that he still had, last week we had a Statsman and he actually, it was 69% on the dire side win rate for Lycan and still about 60 or 58% or so on the Radiant side. So Lycan doesn't really care too much about the side. Obviously, he's strong on the dire side because you can just go in Roshan whenever you want, whenever you have a good situation on the map. Like, you outnumber your enemy just because you had a gank before, or you just pulled them to one lane as a response of a tower push, anything like that. Then you can sneak in Roshan. For Radiant, that's a bit harder to achieve, but the fun part is still, if a Lycan is on Radiant, he's much less active in the start of the game, even till mid-game, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still a Lycan. He will still be an absolute nuisance. Necros coming out, Wolves are coming out, he will blow away all those supports, he will support the entire team with Howl, and you can hardly stop him. Just because in Shapeshift, all you have against him are stuns and shackles, for example, anything that sort of incapacitates him. But at the moment, what can we hope for? The Shadow Shaman, sure. Oh, the hell.
10 seconds to go.
Someone is just testing a motor in the backyard here. That's cool. Either way, we have shackles and what else? The Lone Druid, maybe with some nice procs. That's all we can hope for so far.
Yeah, and even if he is shackled up, his summons are still going to be able to do the work, and with Wolves as well as Necronomicon presumably coming out from him and the Nature's Prophet, the single target stuff isn't going to cut it. They need some more wave clear, as well as, I don't know, just better ways to keep the Lycan in check. This is really scary. They have the Faceless Void now, which is a great way to hold the Lycanthrope and the Nature's Prophet in place, but do they have the damage this time? Lone Druid isn't going to be able to put much into the Chronosphere, and all they really have right now is the Serpent Words, and, well, I don't really want to pull too much out of Game 1. As they're able to pull off some good Chronospheres, it gives them hope, at least. But, I don't know, it's just too scary playing up against a Lycan Nature's Prophet. Even if you dominate the early game, the split push coming out from those two is nothing to joke about. Now with the Visage with Howl, that's also scary. A combination we don't see very often, since Visage is left in favor of some other supports, but this could really work out for Arrow Gaming. Yeah,
Yep, absolutely. Like, Zero Latitude again with a Faceless Void. Well, at least they have lockdown against the Lycan, so that's a good that's good news. But besides that, I'm not quite sure. Like, it didn't work out game 1. Why should it work out game 2?
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, in this game they're going to have a lot less things to put into it. Their secondary support, I'm going to presume this is an Earthshaker. I'd really like to see that as their hero. Although if he does get an Echo Slam on all of the units, he's probably going to kill himself on Necronomicons. It's definitely worth it if you can catch out all of those creeps. And I'll give them some more counter push with Fissure, as well as a good support to roam around with the Shadow Shaman early. But no, it's going to be the Sand King. He kind of functions in a similar way, although his counter push is a little bit less there, but he'll get the Blink Dagger at a faster timing if he's able to abuse the jungle. But these two supports in the Shadow Shaman and Sand King really have a lot of difficulty getting in range for their lockdown early on.
Yeah, it's like they heard my message. Like right now we have Shackles, Proxton, a Lone Druid, like Bashes plus the Chrono, a Sand King with the Burr Strike, so they don't like lockdown. That's definitely good news. It's also good news against the Nature's Prophet. Now, like in the Nature's Prophet, those heroes are very allergic against those lockdowns and stuns. So let's see. Maybe Zero Latitude, they have something, but Arrow Gaming. Oh, there's a Sven, an angry Sven. Now I'm just waiting for a big ultimate. Where's the Enigma? Magnus, Enigma, those heroes in combination with Sven. I just love it.
Yeah, I definitely think Enigma would be an okay pick for them. It would make their lanes pretty greedy. You'd have like a Visage Lycan lane, which isn't really going to be able to contest the Lone Druid that much. They're actually going to ban out the Tinker. They're expecting this to be a roaming support Sven, which it definitely could be.
Yep. Like, let's see. I'm really hoping for something big. But yep, Tinker's getting banned out. Okay, that makes sense. It could have been a nice one for Arrow Gaming because they have Visage and the Wolves and Necro units and Nature's Prophet units, so that would have been plenty for the Tinker to just TP around the map wherever the Lycan or the Visage is parking, Familiar or Wolf or anything like that. That is always a nice access for the Tinker into fights or like solo gangs, especially then later when he has like even the Dagon Burst. So Tinker not an option anymore, but I don't think Arrow Gaming was going for it unless this is really a support Sven and we see another core coming out.
Yeah, support Sven kind of works this in a similar way to the support Wraith King, although I think as a support, Wraith King is generally the better one, offering the lifesteal on top of it. So I think that this is going to be a core Sven, or at least I'm hoping for it. I want to see like a really big combo coming out from him. If they go for the Earthshaker for themselves, that could also be pretty solid, giving them some pretty big team fight as well as another good lockdown spell to combo with it.
Yep, absolutely. By the way, I like that Sven comes here and there back to the game because he was ignored for a long time. Like, just here and there we saw some Sven pickups. I mean, I think he got picked in the TI twice or 3 times at max. Only in the group stage, though. Wasn't so punching through as in stats, win rate-wise. But I still think it's a nice hero. The Warcry, if properly done in the right position, it's just amazing. Especially if you look at, like, for example, the Chrono. If you do it before the Chrono, like giving all the targets there or all around Sven, like a 16 armor bonus, that is quite sick, especially against the right clicks coming in from like physical targets. But overall, it's also a nice ability, of course, to chase and to retreat. Similar to what the Centaur Warrunner offers with Stampede, just on a very much lower cooldown, because it's just a 14 seconds cooldown if the Sven goes for this combination. If this is a support Sven, he won't go for Cleave. And that means we have like 4 points Stormhammer, 4 points Warcry, and that's like how I also like it. And what you must not forget, a Sven, even if he's in a support role and just gets here and there some stats item, and it is a support Sven, then he's also a nice pushing machine. All you have to do is buy some space around the tower, and then he's just popping his ultimate, and the right clicks are coming.
Yeah, it is going to be a support Sven in this game, as Templar Assassin's the last pick for Arrow Gaming. A lot of the damage coming out from Zero Latitude is going to be magical, and Invoker in lane, although he's going to have an edge later on, is going to suffer pretty heavily up against the Templar Assassin early. And with the Shadow Shaman Sand King, I don't think this Templar Assassin is at much risk of being ganked unless they have a really good rune. Because of Sand King and Shadow Shaman not being able to get in range for their disable spells. If they're able to start with a cold step, maybe they can kill the TA, but that's still going to pull the Sand King out of the jungle and stop a lot of the effectiveness of these two supports. I don't know, the Invoker's going to combo really well with the Faceless Void, and they have a lot of ways to set up Sunstrikes and do damage that way. Still, I'm liking Arrow's lineup if they play it aggressively, and if they do, they should be able to win some pretty convincing fights and then transition those into towers with the pushing power of Lycan, Nature's Prophet, as well as the Warcry coming out from the Sven. To start us off, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the teams. It is going to be Arrow, who are smoked up as a 5-man unit, I think, yeah, with Mosin in the backlines. Going to be handling that Visage, the aforementioned Templar Assassin going to be handled by DDZ, Lance playing on the Lycanthrope, Zhangzai on the Nature's Prophet, and I have no idea who's playing on this Sven. He doesn't have an official game name right now, so I don't know.
Yep, but they might actually see the Invoker, and Invoker, I don't know what he's doing there, but Koala, you're so dead. There's the stun and the right clicks. Like, this is the easiest first blood of their lives. Like, go in there, that is... I don't know what I should call this, but it's a very bad idea. Either way, the one who just died was the Invoker here, played by Koala. In the safe lane as well as Lavida on the Sand King. In the mid, we have at the moment just Spicer, who put a ward there, and the one who's actually farming will be Kim. He played Quap last game, now he's on Lone Druid. Let's see how he can handle this one. I mean, his Quap play was not bad, but the problem is, like, in comparison to the farm of the other heroes, it was just not working out. And XLR8, like Mr. Bram or Bram Easy is on the Faceless Void. He was also the Faceless Void before, but it didn't work out at all. At least this time he did not feed the first blood.
Yeah, I don't know, it's not much better though, as your safe lane farmer both games has died very early on, and the Lycanthrope was the one to get the last hit on that. I don't know, Lycanthrope's going to be fed to the wolves in a fashion, as he's going to be up in this tri-lane, although he will have support in the Visage as well as the Sven. I don't know, this actually could work out for them.
I like what Sven is doing here at the moment. Like, he's faking. He's so faking. I mean, now he's blocking 2 camps, even without the presence of walls, so there's nothing in jungle for the SK to somehow get. But I love what he's doing. Like, he put himself, his hero there, completely inactive on a camp and was moving with the illusion, so maybe he could, like, just bait out a burst strike of the Sand King or something like that. So, like, I love these little plays coming out by Arrow. That shows how experienced they are if they have good days.
Yeah, Sven in mid, potentially looking for a wraparound on the Lone Druid, but with this bear coming around, I don't think they're going to be able to get this gank, and yeah, he's getting pinged out by the Sand King. He will back off into the trees. Although not in the best position, he's going to leave his bear out and about to keep on giving him intel about where these two supports are. But still, he's being pressured out of lane. Now DDZ, oh, he's found Lone Druid inside the corner. This is not where he wants to be. He's going to be forced to tango through. The Stormbolt's coming through, and now Kim, it looks like he's going to die. He's grave chilled up, and I don't think he's going to be able to escape. No, he's not. That's a kill for your Templar Assassin, and this laning phase could probably not go any better for Arrow.
Nope, he's TPing back, and he also didn't micro his bear properly. Like, he didn't recall the bear, and the bear didn't even have the chance to, like, I don't know, do some hits here and there. And in the end, he's going down, and that gives, of course, DDC exactly the start he needs in mid. Like, this roaming stun plus slow of Visage and Sven, it's just working out at the moment. The Sven is out of mana, however, but with all these kills he gets at the start, he might find himself in a good position to get, for example, a Soaring. I like the approach of a Soaring on a support Sven, because it's like pretty much infinite mana. The mana you get from a Soaring is exactly enough to get Warcry as well as the stun out. And of course you have overall HPS and MPS, which is exactly what you need. But now, well, he finds the invisibility rune, but the mana is a big issue. He still needs 70 mana to actually make something with that invisibility rune. I think DDZ might grab it. Yeah, he will.
He's gonna bottle up the Sven before he grabs it, so that'll fix the Sven's problems. And yeah, if they want the Invis rune on the Sven, they'll hand it over to him, and then he'll pick up the Invis rune. But no, it's gonna be DDZ with it. But now Sven has a full kit of mana, and he'll be able to throw out some stuns. And I don't know, this Invoker needs to be very careful. He's left solo as they're going up top for the Nature's Prophet, but they're not able to get in range for any of their spells. And I think this roam is going to be more or less useless, as it's a level 1 Sand King with Burrow Strike, and that's it. The range on this thing is absolutely pitiful. If they catch out Zhangzai, he might die, but it's a lot of time that the Sand King could be using to stack up some camps and maybe try to farm up, but they're not putting enough pressure onto him. This is a Sand King that's getting nothing.
Yep, that's the funny part. Xiangxai is the one who's putting pressure up here. Level 2 Nature's Call is bringing that Nature's Prophet, I say, the Shadow Shaman. But now, Lavida might go for the stun. There is a time walk, but is that even the range he needs? Yes, he is slowed, but he will just eat through and will be under the tower. There was the Shadow Shaman missing, but he was still busy just getting all the damage from the trains. So this is bad news. Like, Xiangxai keeping 3 people busy, it's just not working.
It's really not. Even if the Shadow Shaman, if the Shadow Shaman was there, it would have been a kill, but it's just not great. Templar Assassin versus Lone Druid in mid, it's not working out for Zero Latitude, although had he not died, I would have thought that the Lone Druid would trade a little bit more evenly in farm, but Templar Assassin now with an Invis rune as well as Refraction and Howl. This could be a kill on your Lone Druid, but for now he's backed off into his own jungle. The bottom tier 1 tower is just going to fall straight up to Howl, as well as the Nature's Prophet roaming in. This is looking very familiar to Nature's Prophet we saw last game, except for this time, he was keeping 3 people busy, and although he leaves the Faceless Void alone, this is still a big win. They might get the kill onto DDC mid. Let's see if they get in range, but it's going to come at a hefty cost as far as towers are concerned. Levita, he does get the Burrow Strike off. He has Refraction available, and it's going to eat quite a lot of this damage, and Levita might just get turned on. He just needs some meld, and he's dead. He'll get shackled in with the Sunstrike coming through. They are TPing in the Nature's Prophet, and they're going to turn on to Spice. The DDZ might die, doesn't get Refraction off. He does have meld, and they don't have detection. A fatal mistake coming out from Zero Latitude. He's going to be able to bottle up, and now he has Refraction, can turn onto this. He's going to blow up Spicy here. They need one more auto attack. They're going to have it. The Burrow Strike comes back in. The Refraction is going to die, and DDZ will fall at the end of the day, but not before getting 2 kills of his own, and the bear also falling very low.
Yeah, I don't know why the SK was so eager to get right clicks in. I think the Sandstorm in total would have done a lot more damage against DDC, especially because it also goes through the meld. But I don't know, going for this gank without detection so that DDC can really make pop plays with meld, this was again a very bad decision. But yeah, while all this is happening, look at what happens in the bottom lane. Warcry to even like just give more armor to the creeps, so the tower needs about 6 or 7 hits to get the melee creeps down. This is just, yeah, tier 2 tower.
Yeah, I mean, Lycanthrope usually doesn't come online. Oh, the stun goes away with Koala. They follow up with Grave Chill. They're shackling up Lance, and I think he's going to escape here, but Koala, he stops for an Ice Wall. It's going to delay things for now, and with the Ether Shock, it will zone them out, but they get the tier 2 tower, and nobody dies, and I don't think anybody will. Warcry comes out, and they'll be able to make a pretty easy retreat.
Yeah, I mean, this is an ice wall with 1 point in class, like, not very impressive, but DDZ is diving here at the moment in the mid Lone Druid. He just needs to be slowed one more time. He's using the Salve, that buys him some XP, but oh, gladly, the SK is coming in. That is, of course, good news. DDZ is gonna get, like, 1 tower hit or maybe 2, but that's it. There's no follow-up stun, no nothing, and...
Oh, he gets rooted!
Wow! That's exactly the power of a Lone Druid, Jesus Christ. So DDZ is going down, but... well, space created, because look at Roshan, what's happening there.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take it. They have Lycanthrope that already has his Vladimir's offering as well as boots with the amount of farm he's been able to get, as well as the towers and a kill on top of that, the first blood. And, well, Roshan, although DTZ dying is not what Arrow want to have happen, it's going to turn out working for them. And they have now a Nature's Prophet with Mechanism. Things are really looking up for them. The tier 1 tower up on top is not looking too healthy as Nature's Prophet's been roaming, but they're going to secure a lot of map objectives off of this. They didn't have any detection on the supports in mid, so DTZ might have been able to just meld that one away since Sandstorm was already used and then look for a turn, but he'll get the deny in the tier 1 tower up top at the very least. And Zero Latitude, despite it being very early on in the game, are looking pretty far behind.
Yep, absolutely, and maybe top now DDZ. I mean, alone against the Faceless Void, no chance whatsoever, but like if they get the refraction slow, then maybe something. But no, in the mid, there's a fight already. They want to go on the Lone Druid. He's in his ultimate, but with Soul Assumption, he's still losing a ton of HP. The Wolves are following him. At the moment, he's blocked in by his own bear, but a nice chrono here. The Sunstrike is going to finish off that, and that's Sven, and now it's Xiang Sai's job here to die next. Will he die? Yes, he will. So for now, it's a 2-for-1 trade. Let's see if they can still turn around. The Lycan is up and running, and also, yeah, Faceless Void. No way he can get... oh, he was not blocked in. Okay, I think that was a bit mismicro. If he would have just left the Wolves as they are, I think he might have been just blocked in. But okay, he has a Quelling Plate anyway, so he could have had a fast response. So yeah, 2-for-1 trade it is.
Yeah, he also had Time Walk. Even with the 2-for-1 trade, Sven is already back up. He's not that high level, and this tier 1 tower is probably still going to fall. So even though Arrow losing as far as kills are concerned, they're going to still make the better trade in the tower department as they're looking for Zhang Zai up top. I don't think they're going to be able to get this, although they do have the level 3 Burrow Strike. They might be able to find DDZ if he overcommits, but they're just going to rotate up towards top lane after the tier 1 tower mid drops, and it's just going to be 5-man Dota.
Yeah, and there's also another invisibility rune which gives them exactly what they need. Nice initiation from the side, and I think they're going to wrap around here. There's also no vision. There's no vision whatsoever. Zero Latitude, they just have no control, and I'm like just looking at through the supports, but yeah, still no detection. So meld and it is invisibility rune, easy going, but at the moment Kim in the mid is on the focus.
Yeah, going to be storm bolted up and in between 4 enemy heroes. He gets a root onto the Sven, but not going to save you this time.
Yeah, plus they're all healing up because that Vlads is coming out. It's like they all just auto hit pretty much the creeps and therefore even heal quite efficiently.
Yep, time walk away from Accelerate. He's going to be forced back to base, presumably, because of that Storm Bolt, or Storm Hammer, rather. And now the Tier 2 tower in mid is going to be under siege. I'm not sure they have really what it takes to defend against this. Everybody's kind of spread out across the map. Up in top, we have the 2 supports, Invoker's down in bottom. And
yeah, they accepted this Tier 2 tower going down. This is now 4 towers. And even like the Tier 2 towers going that fast. I mean, usually we see teams like, hey, okay, we drop a Tier 1 tower because we just can't do it. We can't rotate fast enough in, or there are just too many. But like even the Tier 2 towers are falling now and they don't get anything else done because Koala wasn't able to do anything on the Tier 1 tower there in the bottom lane, and top it was already denied. Now actually we might have Lavida and Spicy or Spicer here in a bit trouble if the Sven finds him.
Sven won't for now, and I think they're going to back off. They're getting pretty close to the Blink Dagger on the Sand King, which is going to be nice. But it's still going to be one hero that's getting what it needs, and then the rest of the heroes really aren't. You have a Faceless Void. This time his farm isn't as abysmal as it was last time, but it's still looking pretty similar with just the PTs as well as the Morbid Mask. And yeah.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit better than the last game, but still, like, overall, he didn't shine with anything so far. Also, like, I mean, they need those good combinations of Chrono plus X. That's the biggest problem. But at the moment, Xiangxai, look at the mid. There's the Entangle, but unfortunately, that won't happen too much more. And I don't know, being between those 2 towers, wherever, like, whenever Arrow once can TP in, this is also bad news, of course. But let's see. I think top Lavida, if they find him, that's bad news. But he still has a Blink Dagger. He's not using it for now. But Mozun maybe. They want to go on this. They want to go on this with Epicenter.
He's channeling it. He's going for the blink. It's only going to catch out Mosin. He doesn't burrow strike. There's the burrow strike as it catches out the Sven as well. Well initiated by Levita, but he doesn't have the backup. There's the backup as the Chronosphere hits onto 2, and the Serpent Wards are inside the Chrono. Unfortunately, they're not auto-attacking, but look at the Sven. Lance, he's going to be able to clean up the kill on the Sand King, but now being focused down by these wards as well. Accelerates signing to all of these summons, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty clean trade as Lance. He's going to be rooted up under the Serpent Wards, loses his Aegis as Kim is just going to be on a full headlong retreat. He's hasted up, and I don't think they'll be able to catch him. Now, Invoker caught out by the Sprout, and now going to be right-clicked to death by DTZ, as well as the only bird that's still alive in the melt hit, just rips him apart. 4 for 1, or 4 for 2 rather, is the end trade. Despite having a pretty good initiation by the Sand King, it wasn't enough. They needed the backup instantly.
Like all those units, even with the mass serpent wards and everything up there, like familiars, wolves, necro units hitting Arasta, it's like oh cool, you shackle me, okay, then you have to stand still, just like I have to. And the creeps are they just obliterate that poor Arasta. I mean, it's a support with 720 HP. The stick is the only thing that gives him some stats whatsoever, and yeah, look at the wolves. Like Lavida is actually blocked in here. Oh my goodness.
He's not going to die just yet. He gets a burrow strike onto DDZ. He's also going to be hexed up into the Golden Sheep. They're looking for a root. Do they find the root? They're going to batch him up with the Faceless Void, and DDZ's just going to melt behind the Tier 2 tower, looking for a little bit of a turnaround, but he's going to get rooted inside the Ice Wall. They lose the Tier 2 tower, and now the fight's actually going to break out as they go into Mosin. Mosin's going to die as well, so finally a good trade for Zero Latitude as far as kills are concerned. Now Lance, he's running back in. He's going to get bashed up, and now he's oh my goodness, rooted in. 3 for 0, as well as the Tier 2 tower going down.
This was a bit too much fed away for a Tier 2 tower. Now with Levita, he still has Blink Dagger on cooldown, but this... Oh, well, at least the Faceless Void slowed him for now. There is another Stormhammer, but ultimate on, and he just goes for it. He's like, okay, if I die, I still take you with me. And now he has no stun left. At least it's on cooldown, but still, look at all those creeps. All those creeps just make it so hard. There's still this one familiar and the wolves, but now at least some bashes are coming out. Another Stormhammer, but yeah, that's it, eventually. Still... This Sven keeping the entire team occupied for what? For about 2 minutes or so, just running around the trees, even getting that kill on Lavida. Well,
that's going to be your Necro Book 2 on Lance, as well as the Necro 1 onto Nature's Prophet, getting dangerously close to 2. And as bad as the summons were that last fight, they're just going to get even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's... I still think that Arrow's commitment here to that Tier 2 tower was a bit too much. And I think DDZ overstated his welcome there a bit. Because he was way too deep. He was, yeah, susceptible against like all these stuns, and then of course the Entangle made his life pretty hard. And without DDC for the entire fight, sure they got a Tier 2 tower, but they paid with 4 in summary then. Still, like Zero Latitude, if you look at the graphs right now, like they're doing fine. Arrow lost really a lot in experience after this fight, but they will catch up. In gold, they barely lost anything, and this is what matters at the moment. Like, even if they have the same level, but like just, I don't know, 10k advantage in items, that still brings Arrow like ahead in all these fights. Because Zero Latitude just somehow outplay and outlast all these creeps, Familiars, Necros, and the Wolves, with a Howl on top of it. You need to have the item advantage on you, but at the same time, yeah, they get at least a kill on DDZ again.
Yeah, didn't actually see that, but it looks like it was just Chronosphere into Sunstrike. He didn't have Refraction, or at least it was eaten apart pretty easily by the Forge Spirits, as well as the Invoker and Faceless Void right-clicking him. So DDZ getting caught out quite a lot this game. 4-4 and 2. It's been okay. Yep. He's gone for the Midas. It's not going to harm his net worth that much, but really, it would be better if he didn't. We have Nature's Prophet. Where's he going? Oh, just back to base.
Yeah, the good thing about, or against DDZ here, so the good news for Zero Latitude is that they can remove the Refraction really, really fast. Especially if there's Entangle procs, like, this is just poison to a TA. And since the Invoker was present there with the Forge Spirits, you can remove, like, I mean, 2 heroes, Forge Spirits hitting a TA, the Refraction is off within a second, and from there on a TA is nothing but, like, a big creep with 900 HP. But let's see, maybe they even want to go for more. Look at this.
Yeah.
And where's the jump in? I'm just waiting for the jump in, but DDZ, okay, he's showing himself not very impressed, but oh, La Vida, you don't want to be there. You have to plink out here in that bottom lane, because there's already a Wolf scouting. If that Wolf hits him, then he can't really do anything, but for now, he's at least hiding. There's another Burrow Strike and another plank.
Hit him once and then stun him.
Do they see him? I think
they definitely do.
Oh god.
Yeah, he's so dead. God's strength used for that, probably not necessary, but he's...
No, he could have played safe. He could have played completely safe there. I mean, he must have been aware of the fact that, like, they used to be in the bottom lane. Like, he saw 2 heroes there, so it was very likely they farmed their own jungle, the Radiant jungle. So he's trying to do creep skipping, but then he's hiding in the pop pocket where everybody is looking. Everybody's looking. And they still know there are wolves around the map. They are put on follow on certain heroes, and yeah.
Oh, mid Sunstrike?
Burst Strike. Oh, sorry.
DDZ gonna get blown up by the Chronosphere. They'll commit another Chrono to solo killing up the Templar Assassin. It's definitely worth it, and that's going to type this kill score 12-12. It's not over by any means for Zero Latitude. This game isn't looking as dominated, as they have still a lot of gold left on the map in the towers, but will they be able to get that? I don't know. It's going to take a lot more pickoffs.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, at least DDZ is now dying. That gives them, at least, that keeps them in the game at the moment, at least for the moment. But the problem is still, I think Zero Latitude is like boiling in a huge pot of time, because the longer this game goes, I just fear for it, because DDZ is still being a TA with a lot of right click later, and a Lycan, I don't know.
Oh, Spicer. He's gonna get storm bolted up and now just ripped apart by the familiars. They might be able to turn on to Sven. He's cold snapped up and will eat a couple more stuns, but with the familiars dropping, they're just gonna turn onto the Invoker. The Necronomicon on the ground after the TP in from the Nature's Prophet. He's gonna die. Stormbolt as well as the Soul Assumption, all they need. Levita jumped in for a Burrow Strike, but that's all he could do. He won't die, but wasn't able to save the Invoker. And now the push comes out from Arrow into the middle lane. It's going to be scary. They have a Faceless Void on top and a lone Druid in bottom, but there's no way they're out pushing this.
And 2 Necros. 2 Necros, that's the scary part. The Necro of the Lycan just used right now, so 2 Necro creeps, and I don't know how many dozens of creeps there are. You don't even see the original creep wave, so they're coming in, and even this bear has to be careful. He might as well die.
He's trying to get as much Maelstrom as he can get in. Levita jumps in. He doesn't have the Epicenter. He didn't have the mana for it. Now they jump in. They're looking for the Chronosphere. It's a good one. Lance is being focused down. The creeps are also dying. The Serpent Wards are being farmed up by DDZ's. Faceless Void's running around inside the Chrono. He's going to get Soul Assumption up, and he's just going to die to him more and more Meldhead, as Kim is also being focused down by the birds with how they're just doing so much damage. And now that's where your set of barracks is Mosin being focused down by Koala trying to get that kill. He will be able to get it. Courier joined the fray, but 2 for 5 as well as a set of barracks. Huge win for Arrow. And
yep.
I don't think there's much stopping them from going for more lanes.
Yep, if they had Necros right now, I think they could even go for top, but for now, okay, he just sends the Treants in. I don't know why he's pulling them back at the moment. He could have done some damage there. Like, all of Zero Latitude are dead, and this is the power of minions. This is just the power of summoned units, like 2 Necros, Wolves, like the Treants, and the Familiars. Like, they don't care about Chronospheres, whatnot. Like, they will get their job either way done, either on heroes or on objectives and buildings. It's like, I just don't find any good solution for Zero Latitude at the moment. Like, they need so much more. But the problem is you can't use the Sand King Sandstorm because of the Necro units, because you're visible. Otherwise, this would be maybe an option. Then the Meatball from the Invoker, of course, could clean a bit, like some things at least out. But in summary, also, he just did it rather on heroes than on creeps. It's like they have nothing to clear all this thing. There's also no Radiance on the Bear. I just don't have any solution at the moment for Zero Latitude how they could clean out such a wave. I mean, this was double creep wave Treants and all the other summoned units.
All sped. Just bashed to death in mid. There's no way he's getting out of this, and the rest of his team isn't there to back him up. So they get to pick off on this Sven, but it's not going to make up for the fact that they lost Roshan as well as a set of racks. It's just so scary playing up against Arrow right now, and we're going to have a Templar Assassin that's going to have a Scotty completed almost right now.
Yep, it's... Well, it's bad news, but at least in the mid DDC here, yeah, they even commit the chrono for it. I think that was a bit too much if they had vision, but look, Xiangxai coming in here from the side, summoning all the creeps, and now, well, do they make the escape? Because Shapeshift on Necro units, Koala is going down for sure. Now Kim, run for your life. He's still in range form, so that Shapeshift, oh, it will kill him. That is a super fast creep here, and Spicy is the next one to die. The unit, again, will just kill him. And in the mid, La Vida, he tried something, but yeah, he's also dying for it. At least he's taking the Visage with him. It's still a 2 for free trade.
Oh, Lycanthrope. Chasing down Kim, I think he's going to be forced to back off. He has a Necro Book as well. He might just die straight up to these wolves now. The tower's going to kill him.
Yeah.
But yeah, still a very spread out fight. It kind of broke out on two fronts, and it cost them a buyback on the Nature's Prophet, but I think they're going to be able to push into the next lane. Without Chronosphere, that's kind of Arrow's go time to push.
Yep, I don't know. Like, I just don't see anything what Zero Latitude can do against those units. Nobody can kill Necros whatsoever. There's no BKBs, and they just go for the tower. There's no cliff, and look at this tower. Now it's here, now it's gone.
And Melee Barracks going to follow suit. It's very easy. They're just being completely zoned out by these Visage Familiars. There's only 2 of them. But yeah, the Melee Barracks is just going to fall to the Treants. They don't need much more. They'll get a set of Visage Familiars, which is nice. But oh, they jump in. Burrow Strike only on Xiangxai. He's going to be stunned up. Levita, I think he just jointed that with the Sandstorm. But yeah,
that was
that's
good timing, but damage is done.
Yeah. Pretty much sums it up is now they're bringing in their Templar Assassin. She's died 6 times, but now with the Scotty, she's going to be able to run down these heroes very easily, and I don't think it matters. They slow up in mid, and now they're going to catch out Kim, and Accelerator just blown up. He gets Chronosphere in the last hour, but it catches out a lot of the wars. DDT's trying to be focused down, but he's pretty darn tanky, now just going to be able to turn on Accelerator. He gets bashed, which is unfortunate, but with the pipe, he's just not doing enough damage. Koala's going to be able to get the Aegis off of the Lycanthrope, as now DDZ focusing on Koala. DDZ might die here. He has the Refraction up again, and after healing up with his not sure what healed him up there. That was the mech. And now GG called out by Zero Latitude as there's a buyback from the Sand King. That's pretty much it. As you said, there's just not much that they can do. They jump in on a DDZ and not even going to do anything.
Yeah. Like, they had all the options here. Arrows was going for a fight, forth and back, even against the buybacks. If Xiangxai wanted to, he could have even pushed down top here, make this almost mega creeps. So, I don't know. Arrow was controlling this game, but... Well, guys, that's not it. This is a 2-game series and 2-0 for Arrow for now, at least. But there is another game coming also, again, with Zero Latitude here on HeflaTV 2. Of course, it is Immunity versus Zero Latitude. I think this opponent is better for Zero Latitude overall. So let's see how this one is going. But of course, in the meantime, you can join HeflaTV 1. And there we have the Mineski Pro Gaming League, Awake versus TP Siapa in the first qualifiers today, and the next days we also have the big teams like Arrow and Titan playing there. Now, yeah, that should be also for me. Let's see.
Okay, well, whether or not I'm joined by another co-caster, there's still going to be more Dota coming up from the Join Dota League here. If you like the casting, you can follow us on HeflaTV on Twitter and Facebook, and find the VODs at youtube.com/HeflaMog. Moobot will be spamming that in the chat and whatnot, and that would be a great way to support us. But for now, it's just going to be back off. We're going to have some music and some ads while we wait for the next lobby, but it shouldn't be too long, so see you soon.